Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Go4WoT Asia Cup 13. Our next match is going to be SuperNoobs versus BTI. From what I've seen, SuperNoobs is a team that is fairly consistent in this. They're taking a lot of good places, first, second, so it's to be a very consistent team. I know they fought these guys before. They're gonna be playing on Lakeville. Now, Lakeville is one of those new maps, which means that it's still very open for things teams can do. I mean, you can go from a very heavy lineup to a very light lineup to a mixed lineup with RT. I mean, anything is still possible on this map, and it's gonna be interesting to see how these teams decide to fight it out and what they prefer to go, if they want to go Valley or want to push the city. There's all kind of things they can do. We're in the tank picking right now. SuperNoobs will be defending first. And they already picked 3 IS3s, 4 IS3s, 150, 100, a T50 for lightweight, so I'm guessing last pick is going to be a tier 6 scout, like usually. For BTI, we have 2 times IS3, 4 times IS3, an RU, a T50 for lightweight, and either an RT or a tier 6 light. I'd be surprised to see an RT. I mean, I'm not sure how many teams like the RT in Asia, but even in Europe and North America, we don't see the RT that often on Lakeville. It's a very difficult game to play with RT. You need to play very precise, very rotational, and yeah, like as predicted, both teams going with a tier 6 scout. SuperNoobs going with the 12T, BTI going with the T37. Confirm that we're ready. Update the scores, and we'll be getting in this match underway any second now. We're just waiting for both teams to finish up their tank. Alright, let's get straight into the match between SuperNoobs and BTI. For lineups, we have 4 times IH3s on either side. SuperNoobs has a 50-100 T50 for lightweight and a 12T, while BTI has an RU, a T50 for lightweight, and a T37. We'll be playing on Lakeville. SuperNoobs will be defending first. Let's check where their scout goes. Lakeville is one of those new maps, so teams are still having a lot of freedom on what they can, what they cannot do. You have the Valley Rush, Zero Line Rush, but it seems like BTI is moving mostly towards the Valley, well, sending 1 T50 for lightweight into the city. Let's go to our pick and see what's going on here. If Harata gets spotted, then going to be in a lot of trouble. It seems he's going to get out of there, while the rest of the team from BTI is moving through the A line. This is going to be a move that takes a lot of time, because you see the heavies here, they have to drive all the way like this. It's a move that takes a very long time. So a little bit more about Lakeville. I mean, as the attacker, you spawn here. It's easier for you to take the middle road control, because you can go here and shoot anybody driving in middle, and it's closer for you. Taking the city is a little bit more difficult, because the defender usually gets the better positions. Harata taking a hit for 239 to start off with. But I wonder when SuperNoobs is going to realize that this is a Valley Rush. I mean, for now, their team is located all towards the city. Oh, Harada taking another big hit, down to 486. He needs to get out of there. This should give SuperNoobs a pretty good indication that they're not in the city and they're going to go Valley. I mean, they, as you can see, NTLOC is pushing up a little bit, trying to get another shot on Harata, but it should be out of his spotting range. Currently cannot see them. BTI still has 2 tanks, the RU and the T37, watching the middle. As we can see, SuperNoobs they realized that BTI is not in the city, so they decided to start falling back, which is a very smart decision, while sending their 12D. I think he's going to go spot the 1-2 line or take a boost where he can spot it from while moving him back. So I don't know, this plan from BTI that might just fail at the beginning. I mean, he is taking a bush to spot when they come to the valley. I mean, it seems like they have a pretty good idea where BTI is coming from. They still have a nice damage advantage with Harata being on 486 HP. NTLOC should have spotted the T-37, so he knows there is somebody in the middle, so he knows it isn't free. Ooh, close shot there onto the T-37, just about missing. As we can see, we are 2 minutes and a half into the game, and the IS-3s are just cresting in the valley. They just lost 3 minutes moving their IS-3s here, and SuperNoobs have a fairly good idea that they're coming. As we can see, who is it? This over here. Call Me Tenshi is in a good position to block this off. I mean, from here he can side scrape and cover off this entire cap. So I'm not sure if this plan is going to work for BTI. It's going to be very interesting to see. I mean, I wonder what SuperNoobs is moving back towards the city. This is a timing could be really bad for them. I mean, if they get in the cap now, then they have to turn around instantly because, yeah. The IS-3 should be spotted soon. He's just carefully checking. I mean, the really important thing for this is if BTI can keep control over this middle part. Oh, let's go check this. Moving in for the T-37, but there's an RU and a T-54 there. If BTI does this correctly, they might be able to take him out for free. Oh, NTLOC in a lot of trouble. Will be able to take out Harata. Normally does take out Harata, and the T-37 dies. This is a favorable trade for SuperNoob. Oh, and Sheet B does take a lot of damage. Sorry, trying to pronounce his name. It's down to 600 HP, and SuperNoobs is still in a good position. I mean, look at Call Me Tenshi's position. The IS-3s are trying to make a shield. Ooh, it does take a lot of damage, not side scraping perfectly. I mean, was a little bit overexposed with his sights. That's good. Let's see. As we can see here, SuperNoobs is trying to reset it, but look at his positioning over here. They are using the IS-3 as a mobile wreck. You can just see the shots flying in and bouncing. Somebody needs to go back in there and get the reset, because at this point BTI is just going to cap it out, and if SuperNoobs don't reset quickly, this game could just be over. And BTI does capture the base just before that heat shield cell lands, and even though being in a 3 versus 6, BTI managed to pick up the first round. That was some really interesting stuff from both sides. I mean, SuperNoobs, they knew where BTI was coming from. They pretty much knew they were into the city. They did some early damage, and even the trade in the middle was favorable for them. But then I think they were too reliant on the fact that they could reset from the far back that they didn't expect the IS-3 to make a shield. So really well played out in BTI's favor. I mean, they were in a disadvantage, but they managed to turn around in their favor. SuperNoobs did get the ID to load HG, but I think it was a little bit too late. When the cap hit about 60, the IS-3s in the back should already be loading HG to make sure they get the reset. We could see that they were just bouncing off the turret, so that was not so good from SuperNoobs. So you should be expecting more from them. They had a really nice advantage, but they failed to close out the game. So yeah, they'll be losing their first round on Lakeville as the defender, which is a really big thing, as it's really hard as an attacker normally to win a round. But it's gonna be crucial to see what they do now to come back. Quickly looking over the damage, we can see the damage is all in favor of the SuperNoobs. I mean, if we compare it, yeah, they're so far ahead of damage, and it was a 3 versus 5, and BTI managed to run away with that. SuperNoobs should be gutted with that. I mean, normally they should never lose a game like this, but it's important for them now to focus on the next round and make sure that they're gonna be able to win this round, because if they don't, BTI will be advancing to the finals, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they will be advancing to the finals, where they will meet either the winner from Horseman versus Horseman or IFDR. So one more round and they'll be going into the finals, and SuperNoobs will be sent to the match for the 3rd place. Let's would be huge. I mean, I don't think it's been a while since SuperNoob ended anywhere else than first or second, so it is impressive by BTI. I hope SuperNoobs can come back so we can get a nice game, but I mean, it's really hard to attack Lakeville, so I really want to see how BTI decides to defend this, and hopefully they don't make the same mistakes as SuperNoobs did, because, I mean, they had the advantage and they didn't close out the game, which is a really bad thing. But yeah, Lakeville is indeed not one of the most dynamic maps in the map pool. I mean, as you could see, the defender is just usually just holding in one position, but we could see how it also cost them the game by holding in one position. They had the opportunity to close in and finish out the game, but they neglected this opportunity and they lost, and now they're one round down. And let's check the tanks. Seems like both teams are going really heavy again. BTI picking 110 and an RU. I wonder where they're gonna put this 110. There's a few good positions for him, but I don't know why teams like RU so much. I feel like the T54 is superior in this situation, because in a fight against the T54, the RU will most likely lose, especially if the T54 gets the possibility to ram him. So I'm just waiting for the teams to finish off their picks, and we're getting the second round on the Rabbit from SuperNoobs versus BTI. BTI being up 1-0 and will be defending on Lakeville now. SuperNoobs going with 2 T54 lightweights. Some more, slightly more mobile lineup. I think it's the same one we saw from BTI. So going with the 12T again. Well, BTI is going with the T37. I mean, I think the 12T is better in defense than the T37 though. Because it has a better camo value and it's not that big, so it can be put in smaller bushes than the T37 can. So I mean like, they must have a reason for picking the T37, but in my experience, I feel like the 12T is just a better tank. All right, let's confirm that we're ready, and we should be getting underway any second now. I want to see how SuperNoobs decide to attack this. I mean, they saw the attack from BTI, and even though it won them the round, it wasn't the best attack anybody has ever seen. So they should be able to adapt this and, I mean, come back. They're an experienced team. This is the point where they prove them, and they can prove that they can come back, or they'll go down. And don't forget, the team that will be advancing will be fighting for the $100 first prize. So, I mean, waiting for BTI to just ready up. But as mentioned, I mean, we're seeing a lot of standard play on Lakeville because teams are not very sure yet what to do. What SuperNoobs was doing is really standard by now. So, okay, we're getting the game underway. Let's check. Alright, for lineups we have SuperNoobs with 4 IS-3s, 2 T54 lightweights, and an AMX 12T. And for BTI we have a 110, a 5100, 3 IS-3s, an RU251, and a T37. And let's see how either team decides to attack and defend this. I mean, we saw SuperNoobs aggressively taking the village in the beginning, which gave them a nice damage advantage, but failing to close out the game after. So let's see what they are capable of doing on the attack. It seems like the IS-3s are moving aggressive into the city, and BTI doesn't seem like they wanna. No, they're not aggressing into the city. They're just gonna set up very passively. So SuperNoobs is advancing into the city, but they're not gonna meet anybody. And let's check where the T37s go. He's taking a bush. In the bush over here, he'll be able to spot when SuperNoobs go into the middle. Let's go check out some of the defensive positions that BTI decided to take. I have a lot of heavies here waiting for the push around that corner, and the 5100, I don't think this is the best position for the 5100, because I mean, you can see how much he needs to expose to shoot either way, and if we look at like this, he is vulnerable for the middle, so as soon as he gets spotted, he will be under a lot of pressure. But let's go back to SuperNoobs, and they seem to just be grouping up in the city, deciding that zero line is the way they want to go. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work out for them if BTI has the correct focus fire and doesn't bounce on the on the ice trees. Sorry, and I think they're going to be in a really tough spot. Oh, but they are blind shooting the T-37. They know where he is. They know where he is. One more shot and he'll go down. Domba needs to get. Don Bassett, sorry, needs to get out of there. He's down to 170 HP. That's some really nice blind firing from SuperNoobs. Blind firing the obvious bushes on Lakeville. Don Bassett should have gone out of there after the first shot, taking a little bit too much damage for nothing in reality. So yeah, SuperNoobs are slowly pushing up in the town. They're doing it very carefully. They don't want to be caught off guard by some trap made by BTI. So they're slowly moving up, carefully checking around all corners. I mean, Lakeville is a really slow map, as we can see. I mean, it took the other team 3 minutes to go over the valley, and we're already 2 minutes in, and we haven't really seen any engagement yet. Just teams moving up, trying to take the positions they want to engage from, and it's a lot slower paced. The new maps, the new map pool for VGL is a lot slower paced than before. I mean, with steps, with Cliff, Prokhorovka, and Muravanka being removed, two of them were really fast maps. So having a lot of a lot slower map pool, which we can see right now. I mean, SuperNoobs is still slowly but surely pushing up into the zero line. As we can see, the defensive position from BTI and how SuperNoobs is trying to push forward slowly. Ooh, and a beautiful shot from El Payaso. Taking down Don Bassett, leaving a lot more room for them, but you can see that they're still slowly pushing up, and this is just a trap waiting to be sprung. We can see here. You can just see here, he's just waiting for them to push past and will open fire with his 6 shots, while the T-54s from SuperNoobs are trying to go over the valley, and Call Me Tenchi takes a big hit already, which is just waiting for this 5100 to unleash fire. I mean, SuperNoobs seem to be unaware that, ooh, the loss taking another big hit, down 670 HP to 830. SuperNoobs is just pushing forward, and this is not going to end well. The 5100 is just waiting for them, and Ricky down to 394, and the 5100 is committing now, and this is a really bad situation for SuperNoobs. They're in a lot of trouble. They're down a lot of HP right now, and BTI could just take the game right here. Ooh, the 5100. Oh, Lissandra, one more shot and he will be down. Ooh, it does bounce, but it gets taken out by Harata anyways, and Ricky goes down as well. Not sure what SuperNoobs is going to do here. They're in a really bad situation. Call Me Tenchi is down to 300 HP. It was a little bit to be so careful. They did a really careless push. I mean, they didn't even check behind the buildings. They just pushed forward. The only thing they can do now is literally false cap it. It's Call Me Tenchi is down to 35 HP. One more shot will be taking him out. Then he does survive a little bit longer. He does get taken out by Eva. And now it's just the loss, and yeah, his name will probably become true. He will be the loss. As he gets pushed by the rest of BTI, and I don't see how SuperNoobs can recover from this. I think BTI is going to be taking this series 2-0. All in all, just yeah, we can see that SuperNoobs is trying to cap, but look, this is the difference between BTI and SuperNoobs. SuperNoobs was just camping in this area over here, while BTI is just pushing back to kill him, while leaving one IS-3 to deal with the loss. And El Payaso and NT Lock are trying to do whatever they can, but with the timer only being at 50% done, I don't see them be able to take this one down, as 3 heavies are pushing in, while Reaperman takes out the last, and BTI is in a beautiful position to just take this game home and advance to the grand final, where they're going to be either fighting Horsemen or IAFT. Or so yeah, we just see El Payaso going down. It's just anti-logic left, and there's not much he can do. He's in it 1v3, and he's doing some good damage, but I mean, he would need to pull off a miracle to win this game. Does take down Harata. I mean, it is possible, but it'd be really difficult. He needs 3 shots to kill Ibi. If he bounces this, he could be in a good situation, but oh, doesn't. he should be able to finish EB off before Reaperman gets there, but ooh, this is gonna be a lot. This is going a lot closer than expected. I mean, oh, he's don't drive into the open. He's trying to take out. He bounces the first shot. It's a 1v1 situation. Reaperman is in a good situation. I mean, he has the wreck to cover himself behind, and he's not really peeking onto Anti-Logic. He's just leaving in the room to do the play. Ooh, and another miss coming out from Anti-Logic. He's desperately trying to get the shot. It's just too close that it should be. This match should have been over already, but failing to kill Anti-Logic. Oh, and Anti-Logic tried to get on the flank of Reaper, but Reaper's turret, the IS-3, is too quickly to it's too quick to out-turn him with a T-54 light rail. He would have to track him, and he missed the track, so BTI will be taking this game out, but look at that damage. The loss in Anti-Logic, the last two tanks for SuperNoobs doing 3.8k damage and 2.6k damage, but still not failing to take home this game, while we have Eevee and Harata on the other side doing 2.4 and 2.3k damage. You can see the spread for BTI that 50-100, which is 8 shots, 7 hits, 4 penetrations. SuperNoobs not predicting his position kinda cost him the game, because those IS-3s, they didn't know how to deal with that anymore, so BTI will be taking home this series, and 2-0. SuperNoobs, I don't think they expected this. GG to BTI, I mean, well played. I mean, SuperNoobs, they kinda gave it away in the first game. Nothing much more to say about this. So we'll be taking a small break for now, and we will be back. We'll be casting the grand final for Go4WoT Asia Cup 13. Don't go anywhere, guys.